Hi everyone, my name is Ariel. I'm a field instructor and program graduate from Outdoor Outreach, and I would just like to say welcome to Outdoor Outreach Community Connect. In this time of uncertainty, we're working on ways to stay connected with the Outdoor Outreach community and participants to bring updates and ways to stay engaged with the outside world, including responsible ways to get outside and stay engaged during the COVID-19 crisis. If you missed it, we've been streaming live on Facebook every Monday. You can find us on Facebook at Outdoor Outreach, on this channel, or on Instagram. Don't forget, we've also been doing this egg challenge. And for our next virtual outing, I'm going to introduce you to Maggie. She's our instructor out in the field, and she will be teaching you conditioning and exercises for surfing.
Thanks, Ariel. Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie. I'm a program coordinator and a senior instructor in the field. I've been surfing for 20 years and teaching people to surf for almost 8 years. Normally in the summer, Outdoor Outreach is taking students out every single day to learn to surf. But because of physical distancing orders, we can't quite do that yet. Today I'm going to be showing you all some warm-ups, exercises, and conditioning movements that'll improve your body's strength, agility, and flexibility for surfing. These exercises will be training and strength building for paddling, which is where you're paddling your board with the waves in order to catch it, and for popping up, which is when you actually stand up on the board after you've already caught it to get that long, fun ride. Even if you're not training for the waves, these exercises are great for overall strength, endurance, flexibility, and balance. If you're someone who loves surfing and wants to be physically prepared for your next surf session or outdoor outreach trip, or if you're just looking for a fun and interesting new way to get a daily workout, these exercises are a great option for your daily exercise. As a disclosure, I am not a certified fitness instructor. These are simply exercises and warm-ups that have worked for me throughout my surfing career. Please do these exercises at your own ability and feel free to modify them as you please. And as always, challenge by choice. It's so important during this time of staying at home to stay physically active, not only for your physical health, but for your mental health as well. Let's get started, shall we?
All right, so first we're going to start with warming up. We need to make sure before we work out or paddle out that our muscles and joints are warmed up. This is super important to optimize your workout and prevent injury. It is important during these warm-ups that you keep your head and vision up and forward, since this is what you will be doing in the water, and also to better train your balance. We're going to start with alternating lunges. These lunges will just kind of get your muscles warmed up, your heart rate up, and your body ready for exercise. You could do between 10 and 20 on each side, or whatever feels right for you. Also try and keep your front knee at no more than a 90-degree angle. Next, we're going to do some hip rotations. Bring it around town for those SpongeBob fans. This is getting the hips and all those joints and muscles warmed up there. Make sure you do both directions. Try and keep your head up. As I said, I'm not doing the best job in this video of doing that, but it is important. Next, you're going to start doing your shoulder and elbow rotations. You want to make sure you're rotating your shoulders and as well as circling your elbows. It's good to start going backwards like I am here, making sure to bend the elbows. This is kind of imitating somewhat of a paddling motion to get those muscles ready. After doing backwards, you want to go to forwards, still remembering to bend the elbows. And going forwards, it definitely feels like you're paddling. Then move on to full arm rotations. You can start small and go big, or start big and go small. Just do whatever feels right for you. Really continuing to get in those paddle muscles nice and warmed up. Don't forget to do forward and backward at some point. Next, you're going to want to warm up the ankle joints. This is especially important for when you're doing your pop-ups. You're putting a lot of pressure on your ankles when you're landing on the board or the yoga mat in this case. So make sure you roll both ankles out in both directions to really protect those ankle joints because they're relatively fragile. Then we're going to go into knee rotations. Same thing, getting your knees ready for the high impact of popping up. You put a lot of pressure on your joints and leg muscles doing that, so make sure you rotate the knee joints both directions, getting them nice and ready. Next is neck rotations, making sure to fully stretch the neck in all directions, rotating both ways. This is very important for paddling and popping up. Your neck really does a lot of work in surfing, so it's important to keep it nice and warmed up and stretched out. Next, we're doing what's called trunk rotations. These are a little more challenging, so challenge by choice as always. You want to place your feet farther than shoulder width apart. Find the center point between your feet and a few inches behind you. What you're going to be doing is with your knees bent, rotating your entire core along with your vision and head down and touch that center point with one hand. You want to watch whichever hand is going down to touch that center point while the other arm goes up. This exercise works your leg muscles, your core muscles, trains your agility and your balance. As you can see, I almost lost my balance there. Start slow and by just doing a few, and then work your way up to doing them a little bit faster and a little bit more of them. The next group of exercises we're going to do focus on the arms, shoulders, and back. These are super important for paddling and popping up. The stronger your arms, shoulders, and back are, the faster you can paddle, which means the more waves you can catch, which means the more fun you can have. So we're going to start with an elbow plank. When doing your elbow plank, try and keep your entire body as straight as possible. Don't let your hips sag down or bend them upward. Stack your shoulders right over your elbows and hold for as long as you can. You can rock a little bit the way I did just there, trying to feel the different ways your muscles work in this plank. After the elbow plank, try a little challenge by doing what's called an alternating elbow to hand plank. As you can see, I start on my elbows and one arm at a time, bring myself fully up and then coming back down, making sure to switch sides to keep everything even. My hips are swaying a lot, as you can see here. I should be trying to keep them as still as possible and keeping my hips and whole body and back as straight as possible. But we're getting there. After the alternating hand to elbow planks, we're going to move into push-ups. Now, I've actually always struggled with push-ups my whole life, but I know how good they are for my strength in my arms and shoulders. So form is a lot more important than quantity, in my opinion, when it comes to push-ups. It's very important when you're doing your push-ups that you keep your elbows as close to you as possible and try and go as low as you can, while also keeping your back and hips straight. I personally know that for me, my push-ups are better form when I do knee push-ups. So that's what I'm going to do here. If you are someone who can do full form push-ups, go for it by all means. Do whichever position and however many repetitions feels right for you. I hope someday I can build up my strength to be able to do full toe on the ground push-ups with perfect form, but we'll see. This next exercise is super great for strengthening your back muscles and shoulder muscles for paddling. You're going to start by lying on your stomach, flexing your back muscles, elevating your shoulders and head upwards. You're going to keep your back muscles flexed this entire time. You're going to be rotating through 4 positions. You have the A position, arms back, W position, elbows bent beside you, T position, arms out straight, and Y position, arms out in front. Back to A, W, T, Y, A, W, T, Y, A, W, T, Y. Feel free to rotate through these positions at any speed you feel is right for you. The more you do it, the more burn you start to feel in your shoulders and back, and it's really great for those paddling muscles. Try and have good form, sharp movements, and your gaze forward. After doing these movements, it's really good to counter stretch your back by doing a little bit of child's pose. Knees out beside you, leaning forward, really feeling a stretch in that back. It's good to walk your hands to either side to get a more intense stretch on each side of the back. Stay in this position as long as you like. It's very relaxing, making sure to take a lot of deep breaths. These next few exercises are all about the abs. When popping up, you're using a lot of ab and core strength. So the stronger your abs are, the easier pop-up will be. The first ab exercise we're going to do is a half crunch. You're going to start sitting on the ground with your hands beside you for balance. Keep your head and chest up, raise your knees and feet up, and alternate between stretching your knees and feet out while leaning back and bringing your knees towards your torso. Do this until your abs are really burning or until a little puppy friend comes and interrupts you. The next exercise is bicycles. You're going to lay all the way back on your back. Put your hands behind your head to support your neck. Bring your knees up and alternate between touching one elbow to the opposite knee and then switching to the other elbow to the opposite knee, making your legs move back and forth as if you're riding a pretend bicycle. Be sure not to put too much strain on your neck during this by keeping your abs nice and strong. Make sure to take breaks between these exercises, taking lots of deep breaths to keep our body and blood full of oxygen. The next exercise is leg lifts. You're going to once again lay all the way back, relax your head on the ground, put your hands under your lower back for support, keep your legs straight, and lift your toes all the way up into the air. Lift them all the way up and then slowly lower them all the way back down, still keeping your legs straight. Do this as many times as you can until your abs are really burning. Now that we've worked out, exercised, and stretched out and warmed up the muscles and joints we need for surfing, we're going to move into actually practicing some pop-ups. The more that you practice popping up on land, the better you'll be at it in the water. It never hurts to practice some pop-ups. As you can see, I've put a piece of tape down the middle of my yoga mat. This is representing what's called the stringer, or the center line going down most surfboards. If you've been on an outdoor outreach trip, we talk about the stringer and how important it is for keeping balance on the board. We're going to be going over 4 types of pop-ups today. The first one being what's called the back foot pop-up. In this pop-up, you're bringing your back foot up first, whichever foot that may be, whether you're regular or goofy, placing it and then lifting yourself up off that back foot to then bring your front foot up under you. Ideally, both feet ending up right on that stringer. It's good to practice each pop-up slow a few times and then see if you can do it fast. In the water, the faster you can do your pop-up, the less likely you are to lose your balance. So it's super important to try to get to the point where your pop-up is one quick, swift motion. The next pop-up is what's called the longboard pop-up. On outdoor outreach trips, we are pretty much always using longboards, so this is the most ideal pop-up. In the longboard pop-up, you are jumping up from the toes and sending both feet into position under you. This pop-up can't be done on a short board because on a short board, your toes are hanging off the back of the board. Remember to always pop up with your hands directly below your shoulders. Not much farther back and no farther forward. Practice that longboard pop-up a few times, really feeling the momentum come right from your toes. Once again, practicing slow a few times and then trying to go faster. The next and most challenging pop-up is called the shortboard pop-up. In this pop-up, you're popping up from the thighs. As you can see, I've untucked my toes. I'm going to be using momentum, sending to my thighs to jump up and get my feet up under me. This is challenging because you don't have as good of leverage from your knees and thighs that you do from your toes. As you can see, I barely made it on that first one. Need to build up my strength for sure. If you can get both feet under you and on the stringer line, then you've done it right. Practice makes perfect. This pop-up in particular does put a lot of strain on the ankles, so please be aware and careful of that. This next pop-up is a knee pop-up. Now this pop-up is for someone who has maybe never tried surfing before and hasn't established any of those pop-up muscles. It's not recommended for in the water because being on your knees is actually pretty unstable on a wobbly board in the ocean, but it's a great way to build up muscles to get yourself able to do that longboard pop-up, back foot pop-up, or even shortboard pop-up. You want to come to your knees first, bring your front foot up under you, and twist up into a standing up position. Once again, trying to graduate from doing it slowly to as fast as you can.
Alright everyone, that's about all I have. I really hope that you find these exercises fun and effective. I can assure you if you do these regularly, you'll feel stronger and more prepared next time you're in the water. Don't forget that if you do get outside, to follow all social distancing guidelines. Thank you so much all for watching. I had so much fun making this video for you all. I'm gonna pass it over to Deon to close us off. Ready, Deon?
Thanks, Maggie. Hi everybody, my name's Deon and I'm a former lead grad and current instructor with Outdoor Outreach. If you liked the video that you saw here today, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook and Instagram account, and if you would like to follow us on those platforms, we can keep you updated on how to be outside safely during this pandemic. We would also like to leave you off on some feel-good news, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Subscribe to our YouTube. All right. Okay.
So cute.
Okay. Again?
Oh my gosh.
My name's Deon, and I'm a former instructor.
Are you?